at the top of the Sandia Mountains. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be talking about football. It's a beautiful day to be, talking to you all. Hey, I'm excited. Danny's excited. Just real quick, shout out to our sponsors, real quick. W Energy, thank you very much for everything that you guys have done for us so far. You guys have really been a backbone for us. Right now, hey, I'm drinking W. But just another quick little mention before we get started. Um, we're gonna start streaming all live Thursday night football games live on this channel. Now, obviously, we can't show you directly what we're gonna be, showing you. Like, so we're not gonna be like showing the game directly, but we're gonna give you like play-by-play analytics and everything that's kind of going on while the game is happening. Unfortunately, like the money hungry assholes at the NFL, they don't allow that and they do frown upon that. Now, speaking of money hungry assholes, Danny, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's get started. So we're gonna talk week 4. And when I say speaking of money hungry assholes, Danny, who do you think I'm talking about? Who's the one
Uh,
GM that you think I'm talking about? My favorite GM.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would guess Jerry Jones.
You know it. You know it's Jerry Jones. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about him. I mean, big game coming up. We got the Packers versus the Cowboys. Now, Packers versus Cowboys. This is an interesting matchup. The reason why this is such an interesting matchup is we're going to see Micah Parsons for the first time lined up against the Dallas Cowboys offense. This is obviously bittersweet, kind of bittersweet for me, just because I kind of having my dad be a Cowboy fan and everything like that. I've followed the Cowboys kind of closely as well, so I in a sense see you know how this is impacting Cowboys fans. I'm sorry that you guys are having to deal with this, but you know, would you consider this game kind of personal for Micah Parsons? Like this is kind of like a personal vendetta that he's kind of going through right now.
It's a thing, definitely, but he has a relationship with a lot of the players that are on the Dallas Cowboys. So is it going to be one of those games where it's like a personal vendetta, or is he going to be holding back just to? I don't know. I really doubt that. He probably has something to prove, saying to the Cowboys, "You should assign me." Is what I think. Uh, how many? If you would say, how many sacks over or under, or do you think Michael Parsons is going to get in this game? Do you think he's going to get one on Dak?
I think he's going to get one on Dak. I mean, the way that their line has been playing and the way that the way it's been going with Dallas. I mean, the game against the Giants and how the Giants, how their season has started so far. It's kind of giving me that vibe where it's like, dude, y'all are kind of in trouble. Do I think Micah Parsons is going to record a sack? I think I'm going to say he records a sack. That's going to be my go-to thing, and I think that's going to be something that is very noticeable. Reason being is like, hey, this is our guy that we released. This is our guy that, you know, he should have been the face of their franchise. I definitely 100% have the Packers taking this game going in.
Yeah, we're
Of course, I'm
looking
going to be
at
rooting. Yeah, what are the odds?
-6.5 spread to the Packers on the road. They're going to be in Dallas. -6.5 favorites. 46.5 over under. Money line is -320. All going to the Packers.
The Packers. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, the Packers are a damn good team, and I mean, having Micah Parsons on that line, it's not going to do anything except stack that line even more. So, do I think they're going to win? Yeah. Am I going to be rooting for them? Fuck no, dude. I'm totally rooting for the Cowboys as they usually as they usually do. But I'll tell you one thing right now. This game is definitely going to be very personal, not just for the Cowboys and not just for the Packers. This is more of a personal thing for, you know, I'm going to say Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. I see Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones with that beef. I still see them kind of clashing. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like this is going to be something that kind of goes away at all in the future. Um, Now, with that being said, I mean, the Packers are definitely looking like that team to beat. even though the Browns did beat them. Now, talking about that loss
Yeah,
to the
that was
Browns,
unfortunate.
how do you think that's like affecting them?
Well, I can tell you this, that I mean, sorry for Browns fans, but when you lose to a team like the Browns, you know that they're going to be on your ass this week at practice because the Browns, sorry guys, again, they're not a very good team. And it was kind of, I didn't actually watch the game, but when I saw the Browns beat the beat the Packers, I mean, it was a road game for the Packers, but like, dang,
Yeah.
who was the starting quarterback? Was it Kuma? I think it was Kuma.
Yeah, I know. I think he's chiming in right now, having to tell us that he's the starting quarterback. We have to rip his ass, tell him
No,
that he's
it
not.
was Joe Flacco, correct?
It was Joe Flacco. I mean, like, and Browns fans are already like chomping at the bits, kind of waiting. Oh, hey, please, please put in Shadur Sanders. And, you know, y'all don't even want me to get started with Shadur Sanders because you know how I freaking feel about him. And, do you want me to get into? You want me to get into it with Shadur Sanders? I mean, we can get into it. I can freaking vent about that little prima donna ass little bitch all freaking day.
Okay,
But it's the
let's do
reactions that
this.
I get.
Cleveland
It's the
Browns,
fucking
Cleveland
yeah.
Browns, Detroit Lions this week minus 9.5 going towards the Lions at home. So 44.5 over under. When are we starting Shador Sanders?
How about never? Because fuck that guy. Fuck that guy and fuck Shador Sanders fans. That's what I say. And if you like Shador Sanders, then fuck you too. That's exactly what I say. And like, I'll tell you what. This is coming from like for me, it went from like, hey, Shador's pretty good. I actually kind of like him. And then it went from, oh, he's kind of a cocky little asshole, but you know what? I hope he gets drafted. To, oh, I don't think he's going to get drafted too soon. I think he's going to fall in the draft, which he ended up doing. He fell in the draft. When he did fall in the draft, I predicted that he would fall. I didn't think he was going to fall as far as he did, though. I thought that the Giants were going to pick him up. But then I started dropping Shador content, and the reaction, the hatred of all of these fans that have their freaking like heads so far up this kid's ass, dude. Like I get it, like y'all fucking like him and stuff, but I talk shit about a bunch of different players. Dude. Like that's my favorite thing to do on this fucking channel is talk shit about all these players. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Shadur Sanders. Those are my freaking three horsemen right there, dude, of Kellen talking shit about them. So,
Hey,
I
that's
mean,
why we do
does
this.
that's why
Controversy
we do this.
is
Yeah,
what makes this, yeah, is what makes this fun. And
exactly.
I'm gonna
That's how it
say
makes it.
that Shador Sanders will be starting this season. It will come
You think he's
soon.
going to start again
I,
this
I
season?
do I do think he's gonna end up starting this season. And to segue onto that, um, winner chicken dinner over here. Uh, we have the Giants facing, let's see, the Los Angeles Chargers at home with Jackson Dart as the starter for the New York Giants,
Ooh,
but
Jackson
minus
Dart.
minus
Jackson.
6.5 for the Chargers on the road going to New York. So uh, New York Giants are plus 6.5 with their new rookie first round quarterback. All looks like all the money is going towards Los Angeles right now. But I'm gonna say this, and I've said it before. I think the kid has talent, and he may, it's your first game starting against a struggling Los Angeles, or I mean, a struggling Giants team and a Los Angeles Chargers team that has been performing fairly well. They're 3-0, right?
Right.
But I think it's you got to get is if you get his feet under him, I think he's got potential. I know he's been playing snaps under Russell Wilson throughout the season. He's been getting some
Yeah,
snaps in, and when he's in, he hasn't looked too bad. He's scored a couple touchdowns already, and he hasn't even been the starter.
but most of those touchdowns that he's scoring, I mean, like, so we're gonna be like I feel like the Giants have been using him more as like that run, that running quarterback, almost like how we were seeing like Taysom Hill near the beginning, where Taysom Hill would line up for the Saints. He would take a couple snaps, and when he would take those snaps, he would be running out of the pocket. He would, be doing some little funny shit, oftentimes in the red zone. That's kind of the duration that we've seen Jackson Dart taking. Now with Russell Wilson out, or not out, but just not playing, are
On
we
the
going to see
bench.
something
On the
different?
bench.
Yeah, on the bench, quote unquote, not participating because we got to be nice now. We got to be PC. But fuck Shitter Sanders. I'll just throw that one out there. But I think seeing Jackson Dart is going to be very interesting. I know that a lot of Giants fans are interested to see how Jackson Dart is going to perform. Not just this season, not just this game, but throughout his entire career. Is he going to be worth keeping? Because you got to remember, they passed up on Shedeur Sanders to take Jackson Dart. Is this going to bite them in the ass? Personally, I don't know yet. I don't have enough information per se as far as the two to go off of. Now, I know you can look back at their college careers and say, well, Shedeur did this, Jackson did this. This ain't college, guys. This is different. This is a completely different ball game. So, do I see them succeeding in the NFL? I hope so for both of their sakes. And I even do say that for Shedeur Sanders, as much as I don't like his character. I do hope that they do find success. But branching from this game, Danny, do you see him popping off?
I it's in his first NFL start. It's going to be tough, right? But that's something that's always kind of beneficial to rookies. You don't have any tape on him yet, so you don't know what he likes to do. And man, that kid has a rocket on his arm. He really does, and he's fast. He reminds me of like, and I know his career didn't turn out too well, but like a young Drew Lock or a young Josh Allen, when Josh Allen was still underperforming in his first year or two. He's got the speed, he's got the arm, but let's see how he can process the game when he's on the field. That's going to be the big question. If he can do those things, I see a very good quarterback coming into the future. I like Jackson Dart. I mean, me and Kellen have had this conversation before, so he was kind of my guy coming out of the draft. Like, and not that I wanted him on Denver, but like I was like, I see something in this kid, and there's a lot of potential there, in my opinion.
Oh, I think you're pretty happy with freaking Bo Nix. I'll tell you that. Like,
Yeah.
I think I think Bo's actually doing really good. I'm really happy. I mean, good enough to where I'm starting him on my 3-0 fantasy team. Which, I mean, hey, Danny, let's call a spade on that one, bro. I mean, are we looking at that? Let's talk fantasy for a little bit, dude. I mean,
Okay.
like for a team that I had, okay. I mean, so my fantasy team, my starting quarterback was Joe Burrow, okay, and then of course Joe Burrow ended up getting hurt. When Joe Burrow got hurt, that really like I instantly thought, fuck, my year is over. I'm done. This entire season's done. But then I look back and I'm like, I'm still 3-0. I still haven't lost a game yet. Now I'm gonna read off my team, excluding my quarterback, because we'll talk about my quarterback here in a little bit. But I got Jameer Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Jacoby Myers, Puka, Brock Bowers, Brees Hall, the Texans defense, and Tyler Loop. Now, aside from that, it looks like my team is really stacked. I mean, it's a stacked team. Now, I want to talk about my quarterback because obviously I've had to flex my quarterback out like crazy, and my quarterback's Bo Nix. So I was honestly hoping that I was going to be playing you this week just because I mean, yeah, knowing that you're having to like root against Bo Nix in a sense would just kind of flutter me, give me
I
those butterflies in my stomach. It'd make
little
me,
icing on the cake there.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. It'd make me a little happy knowing that.
I
But
I think you're not making a mistake. Bonix has played some fairly good games. A lot of the mistakes that have been made are like literally just on the hair, like so close. Like he's just had like one or two overthrows. He's still scoring touchdowns. I think he's only had one interception. We've lost two games to two game-ending final second field goals. Like
One of them being
we're
bullshit. I'll
literally,
give you one being bullshit.
yeah, we're literally, you could say, 6 seconds away from being 3-0 instead of 1-2. So I think that the margin of error is very close for Denver. And unfortunately, we made a couple mistakes, and that's the way it goes in football. But I think I have him starting in one of my fantasy leagues too. I think in your league. I thought about possibly picking up like somebody else, but I was like, no. We've seen the progression that can come throughout the season. Like he's like the beginning of last season, he started off pretty rough, and then he just got better throughout the season. So I believe in the kid. I believe in the kid. Minus 8.5. We got the Monday night, the second Monday night game. Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos. No Joe Burrow. Denver is at home minus 8.5. I don't know if I would take the 8.5, but I know the Denver Broncos have a pretty good track record against the Bengals.
What's the money line on
Who would
that
you
one?
take in that game? Money line is minus 425 Denver. It's one of the biggest money lines of the night or of the weekend.
And I figured it would be. I mean, for that one, I'm definitely gonna take. It'd be wrong of me to take the Broncos or not take the
Yeah,
Broncos.
it's the second biggest money line of the weekend.
Yeah. What's
Well, I mean,
the
it's
biggest
obvious
money line?
because we have no Joe Burrow.
And I think that's the biggest factor in all of this is that
Oh,
there's no Joe Burrow.
third biggest money line. Minus 1,400 Bills and Saints. Bills money
Oh
line,
yeah,
14.5 spread. And then minus 600 for Lions and Browns. Lions at home.
1,400. Damn. So
I
what
would,
would you bet? Would you bet that $1,400?
to be honest, versus the Saints, I might take that 14.5 spread.
No.
Bills versus Saints at
No.
home. At home. Do they win by more than 2 touchdowns?
Okay, so they're in Buffalo.
We're in Buffalo.
Dude, the Saints don't have a fucking chance, dude. Like you honestly think that the Saints are even going to have a remote chance against the Bills in this game?
No,
Like
I
you're
don't. I
cognizant.
really don't.
I don't either.
Like it's
There's
not
no
even
way.
it's not even just about the quarterback. Like the entire roster needs work to
No,
to
yeah,
say the
100%.
least.
Well, they got Spencer Rattler as their freaking quarterback, and he looks like an actor who would play Patrick Mahomes in a movie about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey. You know,
It's
like he looks weird.
Temu Patrick Mahomes.
Timu Patrick Mahomes. That's exactly who he is. But I mean, at least Timu Patrick Mahomes would at least play good. But yeah, I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'm not on board with him like one bit. I feel bad for the Saints really. Um, Saints are already looking at a top draft pick. Could we possibly see Arch Manning going to the Saints? That could be a good landing spot for him. I mean, granted that the Mannings have that connection in New Orleans and stuff like that. Could you see Arch Manning going to the Saints?
Do you think that Arch will declare this year? I don't know. He may stick it out for a year.
I mean, I think after that first game, like it's one of those things where, okay, maybe I should kind of wait one more year just because his Heisman
Yeah,
run
that's
kind of
that's what I was
crashed and
thinking.
burned in that first game, and I feel like he might have a better chance with like a Heisman run come next time, come next game. So we'll have to see. We'll see what he decides to do. Me personally, I think that he should um, stay one more year. I think it would be in his best interest to stay one more year in Texas. If he's not able to, or if he decides to declare for the draft, I think that would be detrimental to him and as a good quarterback. He's going to end up going to a team like the Panther. I mean, I don't even know if the Panthers are going to have that high of a draft pick. They're going to be so mediocre again. Um, I see him going to the Saints. I really do if he does declare. But and then
Do
rumors are
you think?
circling about. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say rumors are circulating about the possibility of Dallas maybe snagging him in some degree, but I don't see that happening at all because they paid freaking Dak so much money, and so why
Do you
would
think the
you pay
pressure
anyone?
of being a Manning is something that might be affecting like not only his status but his play? Just having that name.
You know what? Definitely, I'm definitely going to say yes. But the way, and I'm going to give Shador props for this. I mean, it's all about, and these NFL GMs are going to look at the way that you kind of react under pressure, and with Arch Manning, you're gonna see him not crack under pressure. Or I mean, it seems like you saw him crack under pressure one time. But Shitter Sanders, he had that famous last name too. He had the Sanders name that he had to kind of uphold. So having that Sanders name that he had to uphold, it's one of those things where it's a catch 22. You're either gonna really run with it, no pun intended, when it comes to Shitter Sanders, but you're either gonna really run with it or you're gonna, kind of fall back, I guess, in a sense because we've seen this before. This isn't the only time that you know we've seen a kid's or a player's kid go and play in the NFL. I mean, look at the Griffeys, Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey. Those are two very
Yeah.
very successful players that ended up you know being in the Hall of Fame. Arguably, they're both going to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, is this going to be the same for the Sanders? Probably not, in my opinion. I hate to say it. Actually, no, I kind of like to say it, but it's probably not be the same
I
outcome for them.
still
Um,
have
is it going to be the same for the
I
Mannings?
still have
Probably not.
positive vibes for Sanders, but man, in terms of national perspective, you know that Manning is kind of it's not looking good right now. He should probably stay an
I
extra
know
year, definitely.
he really should. I'm not a big, you know me. I'm not a big declaring for the draft guy right away. That's never been my mo. That's never been something that I'm like, hey, you should just declare. No, that's not a good thing to do. I think at the end of the day, when you just go in with this mindset where you're just gonna fucking declare for the draft, everything is going to go good and you're going to go in the first round. Shit like what happened to Will Levis is what's going to happen to you. Will Levis, everyone thought Will Levis was going to be like the next big thing. And look what ended up happening to him, dude. Where is Will Levis right now? Like, honestly, I don't even know where the fuck the guy is.
Yeah, no, he's not in Tennessee anymore, right?
Let's see. Will Levis, football quarterback. No, you know what? It does show that he's actually playing for the Tennessee Titans right now. That's surprising.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he was drafted in the second round. Um, yeah, drafted in the second round. Poor dude. I mean, the guy freaking, you know, yeah, like I'm never
He
gonna
never had
forget
a
watching
chance.
him. He never really did have a chance, and I mean, I wish the world was a little bit nicer to guys like Will Levis because I mean I remember watching the draft and seeing his girlfriend just like thinking who's gonna pay my boyfriend, who's gonna pay my hopeful fiance and stuff like that because it seems like a lot of these
Isn't he
girls
the guy who
are
liked to put mayo in his coffee?
is that the mayo in the coffee guy? I think so, dude. But I feel
I
so
think it
bad for him
was.
because like his girlfriend ended up leaving him and like there was like she had that whole you know like she filmed like a movie. I guess that's the PC way because I don't want this to get taken down, but she filmed this movie with some guy and it got leaked all across the internet and like he ended up
Ouch.
like she left him and stuff and he was just sucking ass. I feel so bad for Will Levis, and that's something that you can see possibly happening to Arch Manning. So, do I think Arch Manning should stay another year in Texas? I 100% think so. I know, it's kind of a shitty thing to think, and I mean, especially when he's playing against like these shitty little schools and he's standing over these guys that he jukes out. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm so fucking big and badass, ain't I so cool and shit? It's like, bro, really? just so you know, that guy's gonna end up being an accountant, or he's gonna end up selling cars in fucking Denver. You know, nobody's gonna fucking know that dude. Everyone's gonna know you for the rest of your life just because of your last name. He's a nepo baby. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like in the end of the day,
That's
that's what's
that's
gonna
the thing that
happen.
really it really puts like a big pressure on you when you have a last name like Manning. It's like a football family, right? It's probably the
It just
biggest name of football families that has ever existed in the
oh
NFL.
oh
But
dude,
talking
imagine
of
when
Will
Tom
Levis,
Brady's kid shows up, dude. Imagine like just think about when Tom Brady's son finally starts playing. Like unless he shows up, and he's like, Dad, I want to be a cheerleader. I'd be
okay,
like,
well,
fuck, dude.
now that
Like,
we're
well, son, you best be the
talking about
best
Tom
damn
Brady,
cheerleader. I mean, hey, I mean, like Tom. Okay, obviously, we're gonna talk the whole goat thing. Tom Brady's the goat. When his son ends up coming up, and when his son ends up being that top tier player that we're hoping that we could possibly see him being, you know, like it can make some headwaves. Am I wrong? I still got you, Danny. Oh, I lost you, Danny. But I mean, like you know, just talking about you know Tom Brady and like his status as far like when it comes to having a good solid foundation, not just with a team, but with an entire organization. When you have someone who literally has a statue enacted for them, like Tom Brady, someone who you know is recognized like Tom Brady, you know that brings your status up so high, and it you know makes your net worth so high that it's just great. You know, it really is great. Now, just like let's move on, moving more towards these Sunday matchups. Another big matchup that's coming up is going to be the Ravens and the Chiefs. So we're going to see the Ravens and the Chiefs coming up this Sunday. I believe they're going to be playing around 3 o'clock. Now, Ravens Chiefs. Why is this a big match? Because usually, now we're going to go back on that. Usually we see the Ravens and the Chiefs meeting each other in the playoffs. Are we going to see the Ravens and the Chiefs in the playoffs this year? Let me know in the chat. I do not think we're going to see them in the playoffs. Why do I not think that? I don't think that the Chiefs are going to go that far in the playoffs. I know that it's really crazy to think right now, you know, oh, well, they're playing tough teams and shit like that. They're not having that connection. They're not having that solid flow that they used to have. I'm not seeing anymore. A lot of people are just not seeing it anymore. That connection, that solid flow, it's not working with them. I mean, you can see it with Andy Reid. You can see it with Travis Kelsey. They're clashing on the sidelines. It seems like, you know, Patrick Mahomes isn't there right now. It's not that he's, you know, not doing good. It just seems like that magic that made the Chiefs, all that time, way back when, it just isn't there anymore. And I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm not feeling that magic anymore. It's a shitty thing to think about, but I do think that the Chiefs are just not that top tier anymore. I do, and let's talk a little bit more about top tier teams. Let's talk about the Eagles, okay? We do have a lot of
okay,
Eagles
what
fans
did
in the
I'm
chat.
back? What did I miss? We
Oh, we're
talking
talking
about the
Eagles.
Chiefs Ravens?
We're talking Eagles. So, and this is
Oh,
a hot
Eagles,
topic that I
Eagles.
did want to talk about a lot. So, Philadelphia Eagles. One big thing, and it's always been a huge topic of discussion, is going to be the tush push. Okay, why is the tush push a problem? Well, here's why the tush push is a problem. First off, let me just clear the air on this one by saying I personally am kind of on the fence with the tush push. What do I mean by I'm on the fence with the tush push? Well, here's the thing. Now, the tush push, if anyone can run it in the NFL. It's not like only the Eagles are the only team to run the tush push. Okay, any team in the NFL can run the tush push. Now, here is where my problem is. Okay, here's where my problem presents itself. Now, there's two big things that are kind of brought to the attention of the refs that have been brought to the attention of NFL GMs, which is why there's a possibility this could be brought back up. This issue could be brought back up in the postseason or in the offseason next year. Now, what we've seen, and we saw this during the Chiefs game, we saw this during other games and stuff like that. We saw the Eagles running plays, obviously they're running the tush push, and two big things happened. The first one, we weren't able to see where the ball was. Okay, I wasn't able to see where the ball went. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is going to take the ball. He's going to go right behind the center, and they're going to push him. Right, we're going to know that Jalen Hurts has the ball. Okay. However, here's another big thing. Okay, and this is what I noticed a lot during the Chiefs game are the false starts. Okay, we saw two major false starts against the Chiefs. I saw two major false starts against the Chiefs. Now, is this enough to ban the tush push? Would you think this is enough to ban the tush push, Danny?
To me, uh, I I'm an advocate for the tush push. I like it. I think that teams, if they can do it, they should be able to do it. A lot of people complain that it's kind of like a rugby play. I don't know if you feel that same way, but I do think that the false starts are, I mean, that's coaching. You know, if this is such a crucial play that it affects the game in a way, we gotta coach it out. If every team could do it, they should do it. You gotta coach around it. That's what football is about.
No, yeah, 100%, dude. And I mean, like I said, and this is one big thing that I constantly hear people say is, you're not, it's not like the Eagles are the only ones who can run the play. The Patriots can run a tush push. The Broncos can run a tush push. Anyone can run a tush push. So if you're bitching about it, and me and you, I mean, I played a little bit of defense, you played a little bit of defense. If you can't do something, if you're not able to do something, make those adjustments, dude. You know,
Yeah,
and one big thing that
figure it out.
like
Yeah,
we bring up a lot is we see issues arise, particularly in the playoffs, that affect these teams that change over the course of the offseason, but they don't really seem to have an impact that next season. Now, like sometimes they do. I remember we had the stint for a little bit where coaches could actually challenge pass interference calls after the Rams Saints game. I'm never gonna forget that. In my opinion, okay, and there's two instances where I will forever be shocked by the refs completely fucking a game, and that's Dez catching the ball, and that's that Rams versus Saints game. If you're cognizantly gonna tell me that that wasn't pass interference, I'm gonna call you a fucking retard because that was definitely pass interference. So after that, they said, hey, let's go ahead and let's make this rule to where you can, or you can call, you know, you can challenge a play if you think it's pass interference. That's not right because now we're not holding refs to a standard. You know, so how many rule changes are we going to go through, Danny, before we finally say, hey, this is it. This is how shit should be. You know, they're focused on player safety. They're focused on fairness and shit like that. It's like, bro, when are we just going to cut the cord and say, hey, this is how things are. If you don't like it, then don't do it. What are your thoughts on that?
yeah. The game's about money, unfortunately. You know, at the end of the day, they want the offense to succeed as much as possible. You know, there's probably a lot of people who bet money on these games who are the ones who are upset. But like I said, at the end of the day, the game is a league of money, and offense makes money. So it's forever how it's going to be.
Yeah, no, it is, and I mean, like you did bring up a really good point. It is all about money, and that's kind of where I look back on this. I look back at like how like Roger Goodell obviously has his hands in a lot of this shit. He really does, and you can't tell me otherwise. He knows how to tweak stuff. He knows how to do this stuff, and I mean, basically, he runs the NFL a lot like Dana White runs the UFC. It's just how we like it or not. I like the way that Dana White runs the UFC because it caters more towards people like me. Now, the way that what's that dipshit's name? Freaking Roger Goodell. The way that Roger Goodell runs the NFL is more towards different people that I, don't really vibe with, I guess, necessarily. So it's like very soft in a sense. So it's kind of like, oh, we want to advocate for player health and player safety. I was talking to my mom the other day. I was like, dude, do you remember when these freaking players were gladiators? Do you remember that, Danny? Do you remember when we would watch football on Sundays and we would be like, these guys are fucking gladiators, dude. These guys are bad as hell. They're out there, they're busting their
Now we got the
ass.
big fluffy helmets. What are those
Yeah,
helmet caps?
they got the oh yeah, I know. And now we got the fucking huge helmet caps where they look like they're bobbleheads, but like it's getting so soft to where I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit anymore. When you have a quarterback who you don't know whether or not to tackle him or whether or not he's going to run out of bounds because you don't want to get a penalty, you're getting soft. When you're throwing a penalty flag because someone is rubbing their nose in one direction, you're getting soft, guys. I'm telling you right now, and I can go off completely on how soft the NFL really is, Danny. You know,
I know. I
it's
saw.
fucking
I
soft.
can't remember exactly what game it was. They gave someone a unsportsmanlike penalty for spiking the ball in the middle of a drive, like because it wasn't in the end zone. It wasn't a celebration. It was
That's
taunting
pathetic.
or something like that.
That
I
is
was like, what
fucking
is going on
pathetic,
right
dude.
now?
That's not right. It's not right at all. It takes it out. What do
All
they
he did
expect?
was all he did was spike the ball. He just bam spiked it, and they threw a flag at him. I
Yeah,
was
and
like,
what do
really?
they expect from that shit? You know, what do they expect us to think? But I mean, you know, that's a completely different tangent that I can go off of because the NFL really is about money and it's like you got to think to a point. Is it really about player safety or is it just about being a yes man? Is it about being like that guy that says, "Oh yeah, we're advocating for player health. We're advocating for player safety." Fuck you. No, you're not. You want to sound like you are so that everyone and their fucking mother sees it and says, "Oh yeah, sure you are." Whatever. Nobody gives a shit, dude. Nobody cares.
It's
And
all about the money.
it is. And let me ask you this, Danny, okay? When you first started playing football, did you know that there's a possibility that you could get hurt playing football?
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, that's part of the game. Yeah,
Exactly.
if you know football, you know you're gonna get hurt eventually. I was actually playing semi-professional, and that's what ended my career. Is was an injury, but do I regret it? No, because that's what I signed up for. I wanted to play football, and stuff happens,
Right. If you
But
don't
it's
want to
not
freaking
like
get hurt,
I,
play soccer.
yeah, go play tennis or something. Like
Hey, fuck you. I
football
was
is
freaking all
football.
district in tennis, bitch. Tennis is awesome. Tennis is my jam, bro. Don't even get started with tennis. But no, I mean
Yeah,
let's call a spade here. Yes, I mean you do like you are freaking accepting that risk when you do decide that you want to play football. That's why a lot of these parents are freaking putting their kids in flag football and shit like that. But at the end of the day, like these guys are gladiators, dude. You got to treat them like gladiators. Um, and that being said, I mean that's why people are slowing down. I mean, at least I think that people are slowing down the NFL. I remember
it's a
growing
big
up.
thing to do with the CTE lawsuits that they got back in the day when they were denying the fact that football was, affecting the brains of former players and causing suicides and mental uh, or brain damage and stuff like that. So
The
I mean,
softness, the
you
softness is
can
what
understand
freaking
it.
kills
You
my
can
brain. I'll
understand
tell
it,
you that.
but like we were talking about, that the players who decided to play this game for a living, they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, no, they did. They 100% knew, dude. They knew that there was going to be that threat. They knew that there's going to be long term injuries and stuff. I mean, it's part of the game, and you know, this is where there's that separation between hey, the NFL saying we need to kind of cater to these other people in opposition to hey, this is how things actually are, you know. But I mean, I guess it's the sign of the times. Call it the sign of the times. But I mean, let's go back. Let's look a little bit more. Just a quick little shout out to our sponsors, W Energy. Again, that's W Energy. If you use the code We Think, that's capital We, capital Think, and the number one at checkout, then you get 15% off your order. But let's talk more about these matchups coming up. I was kind of discussing it
I
a little bit, Danny, while you were gone.
I think
Um,
I think I cut out. I
yeah,
was literally just asking you as we were talking about Tom Brady. Did you hear my question about the Panthers and Patriots? Patriots at home. Did you go over that?
do I really want to talk about the
Okay, so we got minus five and a half for the Patriots at home. The Patriots are the favorites. Minus 230 money line, 42 and a half over under. Uh, are the Patriots going to be able to get to that 500 mark against the Panthers this week? We have Bryce Young, and we got Drake May. Drake May has been a little bit underwhelming this season, but it is a home game. What do you see for this game?
Yeah, thanks, Danny. Anyway, thanks for mentioning how underwhelming Drake May has been for me. How do I see it
Sorry about
going?
that.
Now, let me talk to you a little bit about this, dude. I mean, so Drake May entering his sophomore year, um, do I see a ton of potential in him? I do. Um, Now, granted, he has a new coach right now. Okay, he has a new coach in Vrabes. I think that this is still a good move, bringing Vrabel in. Now, as far as like moving forward in his career, how is this going to go? I still have faith in him. I still think that he has a very solid team and a very solid team to work around. Now, here's one big thing going into this game. I know it's not really going to affect them all too much, but we have kind of had an issue with, oh, Drake May's a little overrated. S Cruz 96, whoever this freaking bitch ass is. I wonder who that is. Drake May is not overrated, first off. All right. So Drake May has had his fucking issues. All right. And it does bother me a little bit. And S Cruz, I'm not going to mention who you actually are, but joined a little bit late while I was freaking hyping up the Eagles. Too bad that I'm actually kind of glad that he joined now because
Screws
most
96 as a laughing comment. Drake May a little overrated.
overrated. You know what? I'll tell you what. Like, is Drake May overrated? I don't think Drake May's overrated. I do see him moving up. I do see him kind of progressing in his career. Now, as far as this game against the Panthers are a really weak team. They're a low end team. I don't see them, causing that much wake when it comes to, you know, in any sense this year, any sense this team. Um, how is this game going to go? I'd like to say that the Patriots are going to win. However, that's exactly what I said last week against the Steelers. And look how that went. And I fucking hated it because it was fucking Aaron Rodgers. I hate Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a piece of shit. Aaron Rodgers sucks. I will always say that. I think Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Okay. But who am I going to take over here? I'm obviously going to take the Patriots. Um, but again, that's a big thing, dude. It's a huge, huge thing when you got a player like Drake May, when you got a young player entering his sophomore year, you got to have those confidence boosts. So when I talk about confidence boosts, when you have teams like the Steelers coming to Foxborough, when you're playing teams like the Panthers, you have to win those games, dude. You have to win those games. Is it wrong of me to say that those are must wins in order to boost a young quarterback's confidence?
Yeah, definitely. I, to be honest, I do think that May has potential, but it's it's going to be a long road. It's going to be a long road for the Patriots. It's a tough division. We all know that. You got Josh Allen in your division. Um, but would you? I'm going to say no. Would you take the 5.5 spread?
No, no.
Patriots minus 5.5.
I wouldn't. I would not take that spread. I wouldn't. I would take the under as well. I would definitely take the under.
Yeah,
I
40,
don't think
42 and a half. You would take the under on that?
42 and a half. I'm way taking the under on that, dude. Would you take the over or the under?
Ah, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. No, it is a tough one. I mean,
Yeah, I think it could
honestly,
be
actually,
like
as a Patriots
if it
fan,
if
I can't say it's a tough one. I would say that fucking he's like
okay,
they don't
well,
suck.
I'll take the Patriots fans' word for it. Some news that I saw just a little while ago. Apparently, Brock Purdy with his shoulder and his ankle are good to go, and he's on questionable but possible to play for the game this week. San Francisco 49ers, Jacksonville Jaguars, -3.5 in San Francisco for the 49ers.
That's interesting, dude.
How much do you think that makes a difference?
I think it makes a difference, but I don't know. I always underestimate Brock Purdy. I really underestimate Brock Purdy actually. I think that Brock Purdy is one of those guys where you don't pay attention to him until you fucking pay attention to him. I mean, obviously, coming from Mr. Irrelevant, someone who, nobody was looking at, playing for the 49ers. I honestly didn't even know he was hurt until someone started talking shit saying that, oh yeah, um, what's that dipshit that used to play for the Patriots? Gives me PTSD when I think about him. What is he?
Uh,
Freaking something
I
with
I
M. Mac
can't
Jones.
remember.
Mac Jones. When Mac Jones starts
Oh,
freaking
oh,
carrying the team, dude, that's when you're kind of like, what the fuck is happening here? So Mac Jones comes in for Brock Purdy and is actually doing pretty good, which kind of made me a little nervous because then I was like, is this a Patriot problem? Is this a Patriot problem? Did we fuck up with Mac Jones? But I'm like, Mac Jones is a fucking bum. Never mind. We don't want Mac Jones. But do I like Brock Purdy? I do like Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is going to be a good guy. I think he's going to be a good asset. Do I see him as a long term quarterback for the 49ers? I do not. Um, I just simply don't see him as that long term quarterback. Do you see him as a
I
long term
I
quarterback?
I agree with you. Like I like Brock Purdy. Like to me though, he's like I'm not saying bottom tier, but in my opinion, he's a mid-level quarterback or a high tier backup. I
Yeah.
even though I think he has a lot of like you could say there are a lot of likes and comparisons similar to what you could say Tom Brady. He could have been a
Ooh.
Tom Brady. He's already been to two.
Ooh.
He would already been to two Super Bowls, right,
Hmm.
in his very short career, being a very late round draft pick. But the injuries and the losses that you like what if he won those two Super Bowl games, people would have been comparing him to Tom Brady in his very short career.
Yeah,
But
hindsight's 2020, but I like I
he yeah, exactly. Hindsight is 2020. He lost them. He lost two in a
he did.
row, or not two in 3 or 4 years, and he's been injured very much. Whereas Tom Brady was like an Iron Man. So
Yeah.
with the way football works, Brock Purdy, I don't see him going long term.
No, I don't either. But I mean, I mean, when we live stream these games, when we're watching these games, and I'm telling you, oh, that was a Brock Purdy throw. Oh, that was a Brock Purdy play. What are those plays, Danny? What are those plays when I say, hey, that was a Brock Purdy pass? That was a Brock Purdy rollout. What are those passes?
Yeah, they're always he's not he's good, but he's just not great. It makes plays that are wide open. It's them scheming. It's Kyle Shanahan scheming the offense open, in my opinion.
You don't have that Shanahan bias.
Well, I mean, I do.
You got a little bit of that Shanahan bias just because you got that Shanahan blood in him. But I mean, no, I honestly, I think that Brock Purdy, what's making Brock Purdy a starter right now is that he's consistent. That's the big aspect of it. He's not throwing these bombs. He's not freaking running out of the pocket doing all kinds of crazy shit like we see Josh Allen, like we see Lamar Jackson doing. But he's consistent. He can read a defense, but he is, he's excellent when it comes to checkdowns. He's excellent when it comes to little short passes and shit. That's his mo. Um, I honestly think that if
Sound
Cooper
familiar,
Cup wanted to
Kellen?
go somewhere, oh, does it sound familiar? Or how does it sound familiar, Danny? Please elaborate.
Tom Brady.
Oh, don't even. You fucking bringing up Tom Brady. You bring up Tom Brady like he's like fucking no. Tom Brady was in a league of his own, right? That's another thing I was freaking talking about when you were all fucked up with your stream and shit. But Tom Brady, dude, he's the goat. He's the goat. He's gonna be one guy. I mean, and yes, I did have problems with
One
him
of the
when
goats. One of the
oh,
goats.
one of the goats. There is only one goat, and put some fucking respect on his name, Danny. Put some fucking respect on his name. No, dude, I'm gonna tell you what right now, Tom Brady, he is the GOAT. He's great. I mean, who do you know that would fucking go to another team, win another Super Bowl? Which I'm gonna tell you right now about that Super Bowl. The reason why
Peyton
he
Manning.
went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me tell you why he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, okay? I'm about to go full. What was that? What's that one big dude who fucking likes the Dolphins and the Mets? He bites on that stupid little thing. What's his name?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. Oh, Frank the Tank. I'm gonna go full Frank the Tank on you, bro. So here's the thing. You want to know why fucking Tom Brady went to the fucking Buccaneers? Here's why. He had to prove a point. What kind of point did he have to prove? He had to prove that not only could he be dominant in New England, but he can go to Tampa Bay, a shit team, have you, okay? Because this was a shit team when he decided to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He decided to go to the Buccaneers, which was an absolute god awful team, and say, you know what? I'm going to win a Super Bowl with this team. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. Everyone was like, "Whatever, dude. You're full of shit. Yeah, you're a great freaking quarterback and everything like that, but this team just isn't good enough." Well, he had Godwin, he had Evans, he had actually a really good team. Then here comes Gronkowski, all these other players, and everyone's like, "Well, wait, what the fuck? The freaking Buccaneers are actually gonna be pretty good." Buccaneers go on to play the Chiefs. They ended up beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So fuck yeah, dude. He's the GOAT. And then what does he say? He said, "Motherfuckers, I'm always to be a patriot." That's what he said in his speech. He said in his retirement, because they did retire his jersey number. He said, "I'm always going to be a patriot," and I love that. I love that about them.
You know
Rob
why?
Gronkowski thinking about signing a one-day contract.
Why he wanted to do that?
Why? Don't even say it. Don't
Because
say it
he wanted to prove to the doubters that he was the best, because the best had already done it.
And don't say
The
it.
first quarterback to
Don't
ever
fucking
win
say it. You say
with the
that
second
dumbass
team
his fucking name.
was Peyton
Manning.
Manning.
Fuck you for saying that shit. I knew you were gonna bring up that that stupid big forehead motherfucker. No, fuck that guy. I Danny,
Me and Kellen will never agree on this topic.
the fact that okay, dude, Peyton Manning was a good quarterback. He was I will
No,
give that.
don't say good. Don't say good.
He's
say
a good
great. Say
He's
amazing.
Okay, all right.
Superb.
But don't suck his imaginary dick too hard, okay?
Like
Fuck.
what you were just doing to Tom Brady?
Oh, dude, I'll freaking drop to my knees any day for Tom Brady, dude. Tom Brady's fucking shit. Well, dude, freaking tell Tom Brady right now, dude. I'm freaking wearing chapstick right now. Holy shit. But Peyton Manning? Peyton fucking Manning? God, no, dude. Give me a break. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that Peyton Manning shit. So in that same degree,
so our guy in the chat right now, Screw 96, is agreeing with you. Brady is 1, Manning is 2. Yeah, Screw 96. We're watching you, bro.
S. Cruz.
I gotta disagree, man. Manning was the first quarterback to ever win with a second team. He has the most MVPs of all time for any player in the history of the NFL. He rode off into the sunset into a Super Bowl. Like, what is a more perfect career? You don't have the greatest coach of all time in Bill Belichick. You're bouncing around with coaches. You're going to a new team and winning a Super Bowl with an unproven coach in John Fox and then Gary Kubiak. Your playmakers The only thing that he had was a defense, and they dominated, absolutely
I
dominated.
can't believe I'm going to
So
say this. I can't believe I am going to say this. Okay. And, tell me I'm wrong. Like, if you think I'm actually wrong when I say this, and as a Patriots fan, I'm going to get flack for saying this shit once
the
we get.
championships it's a team thing.
Here
Screw
we go. Here we go.
96.
I know.
That's a team
Freaking
thing.
Danny loves it when I mention my 7 championships. But I'm gonna say something. And once we drop this, people go back and watch this shit. Um, I might catch some flack from some Patriots fans. Bill Belichick was not the coach that we thought he was. He really wasn't, dude. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong, Danny? Am I wrong in thinking that fucking Bill Belichick wasn't that guy that we were thinking the entire time?
Yes, I think you're wrong. Bill Belichick.
You think that? Okay, so you think that Bill Belichick
team.
is like the greatest coach of all time, then?
Yeah, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time because he took a 6th-round quarterback to 6 Super Bowls.
So you say he took the quarterback to these Super Bowls. You think that was him? You think it was him winning these Super Bowls? You wouldn't say that it was Tom Brady winning these Super Bowls.
How often was the Patriots defense one of the best defenses of every year? They always were able to shut down some tremendous quarterbacks.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that.
No.
I'll give you that.
Screw 96 is okay. Super Bowl MVPs. Okay.
We might have to have S Cruz 96 on the freaking podcast next time. So
I don't know if it's Screw 96 or S Crew, but
it's S Cruz. I'm a little familiar with S Cruz, but I'll tell you what. I don't think so. Like, here's why I don't think so, because you have someone like Tom Brady, generational talent, okay, who plays for the Patriots all these years, is absolutely dominant, who kicks absolute ass, and everyone loves watching him and shit, right? And then you have someone like Bill Belichick who's also taking the credit for him. Well, after Brady leaves, the fucking Patriots kind of just dropped off the market, right? They weren't good anymore, right? So then,
as well as the Colts did when Manning left. When Manning left, the same thing happened.
Manning had Dungy.
Well, no, actually, that's Dungy, not true.
Everyone thought that Dungy was a great coach. Am I saying he was a bad coach? I'm not saying he was a bad coach, but Manning did have Dungy. Remember that. He had Dungy.
Well, yes, not for the entire run.
In Super Bowl 50. And you know that for a fact, Danny. You know that for a fact he had that number 1 defense back against Cam Newton and those stupid ass.
Okay, so on this topic, me and Kellen can go all day on this. Both Super Bowls, Manning had a great defense. When he won Super Bowl 50, he had the number 1 defense. What did Tom Brady have his entire career? One of the best defenses in the NFL. And when he went to Tampa Bay, he inherited an amazing defense.
No, dude, shut the fuck up. No, here's the thing. Look, see, there we go. There's another reminder. 28-3. 28-3. Okay. Who scores fucking 28 points against a team like that? 28 points, like in the fucking Super Bowl. Is the best defense in the league gonna freaking have you drop 28 points on them? No. I'll tell you what. The Broncos in Super Bowl 50, would they have allowed that in the first half? No, they wouldn't have. They really wouldn't have done that. Okay? The Patriots allowed that to happen because their defense wasn't up to par in that Super Bowl. They weren't up to par. Am I wrong?
All right. I'm obviously losing this conversation with the chat and with Kellen, but I'm telling you guys, Manning is the greatest of all time. Number 1 in my book. Although he never had a Super Bowl amazing comeback or a Super Bowl blowout, He is 3-1 versus Tom Brady in AFC championship games. So out of 4 games, who won the most times in the biggest game that they could possibly play in? That was Peyton Manning.
Okay. All right. If you want more on the topic, go back to Kelvy Danny Manning
We've done
versus
this
the
already
GOAT.
before.
We've already gone down this rabbit hole before. And I'm sure it's not the first time we'll do it. There'll be a Kelvy Danny Manning versus the GOAT freaking part 2, I'm sure. But anyways, we're out of time. And we hit that 1 hour mark. But Jesus, I'll tell you what, that was something else. Um, so
That
again,
went down a completely different road than I thought
it
it would.
really did. Here we go. We're fucking talking. Well, let's talk week 4 preview and freaking what we think is good, and the tush push and everything like
We're
that.
like,
But
fuck you. No, fuck you.
major clash. Fuck you. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. But anyways, so again, to those who watch, thank you for watching. Video sponsored by W Energy. That's W. If you go on to W Energy's website and use the code WeThink, that's capital We, capital Think, and the number 1 at checkout, you get 15% off your entire order. That's W Energy. Be better. Again, guys, thank you for watching. We're going to be dropping some more live information or some more live videos and some more shorts. And again, every Thursday night, we're going to be streaming the Thursday Night Football game. So on Thursday night, go ahead and check us out. We're going to be streaming the Rams versus the 49ers. It's going to be a banger, so I'm looking forward to it. Again, guys, thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good night. Keep faith.